but Drew Hernandez is a strong-minded individual.
Exposing lawlessness.
Drew Hernandez, who is ideological.
Finding the truth.
And use the word Antifa.
This is what they do.
Battling
They're
mainstream
liars. The woke mob, all they can do is lie.
These are the front lines.
What's going on, thought criminals? Welcome to Frontlines. I am your host, Drew Hernandez. Major viral news all over social media, all over the airwaves. BRITTNey Griner, he seems like a nice guy, has been freed by the Biden administration. They chose a pothead that hates America over an actual prisoner being kept by Russia. That is a Marine, of course. They choose the woke over actually those that should be taken care of. But we know that's how these people function. America last. And also, butt plug Bruno, ladies and gentlemen. Project Veritas has exposed butt plug Bruno because he loves to show children and teach them how to play with butt plugs and dildos right behind your back and is completely unapologetic about it. Project Veritas has released the tapes. We're going to go over those. When we do, it is going to be crazy. Just want to give you guys a quick little disclaimer. It's going to be pretty hard to swallow, but that's who these people are. So my name is Drew Hernandez. These are the front lines. Let's get straight into this. All right. BRITTNey Griner, dude. This dude's been freed, and the Biden regime is completely just, dude, they are just loving it, man. They're taking all the credit for it. They want all the accolades. They want all the credit for freeing this guy out of Russia. WNBA star BRITTNey Griner released from Russian custody in a high-profile prisoner swap between the United States and Moscow. Griner was released Thursday after the Biden administration negotiated her release. I keep saying his because, you know, it's Frontlines, released from a Russian prison in exchange for an arms dealer. According to a senior administration official, President Joe Biden signed off on the trade, which took place in the United Arab Emirates, even though it meant leaving Paul Whelan, an American corporate security executive who remains jailed in Russia. They left him behind. Here's President Biden taking all the credit.
Morning, folks, and it is a good morning. Moments ago, standing together with her wife Sherelle in the Oval Office, I spoke with BRITTNey Griner. She's safe. She's on a plane. She's on her way home. After months of being unjustly detained in Russia, held under intolerable circumstances, BRITTNey will soon be back in the arms of her loved ones, and she should have been there all along. This is a day we've worked toward for a long time. We never stopped pushing for her release. It took painstaking and intense negotiations, and I want to thank all the hard-working public servants across my administration who worked tirelessly to secure her release.
Taking all the credit, of course. I don't even know who controls this dude's Twitter, but of course they use his Twitter to take all the credit. Moments ago, I spoke to BRITTNey Griner. She is safe. She is on a plane. She is on her way home at the expense of leaving one of our own behind. But is anybody surprised by that? Of course not. Biden has left Marine Paul Whelan behind in Russia in this process, and the family is coming out and calling it a catastrophe. The brother of Paul Whelan, David, has released a statement saying that a prisoner swap for the WNBA star BRITTNey Griner that left Whelan in Russia was a catastrophe because the U.S. would no longer have leverage to free him. And that leverage, by the way, was an actual Russian terrorist arms dealer that apparently was worth trading over for BRITTNey Griner. But that's what people think, right? That's what the woke are all going to believe. I'm going to tell you, dude. Let me tell you right now what's going to happen. Number one, this dude, BRITTNey Griner, is going to become a leftist god, SJW god to the left. They're taking all the credit. I'm going to keep saying he. BRITTNey Griner, he is going to become the new leftist SJW god, while in the process, the new token black guy, right? The new token black guy for the left, because they're going to run around and parade BRITTNey Griner all over the place because Brittney's the SJW god that survived white oppression and survived white supremacy. That is going to be the narrative. Brittney Griner is not going to run around America advocating for this Marine to be brought out next, using her newfound freedom to advocate for somebody else that's being locked down by the Russians. No, it's going to be white people and oppression and racism, and those are the problems we need to tackle here at home. Yeah. Because an actual war criminal means more than some woke pothead. Because that's where we are in America, right? That's exactly where we are. Well, the White House is coming out. Karine Jean-Pierre is saying that Brittney Griner is an inspiration because she's a part of the gay community and she's a person of color. It's starting immediately, like I said.
Treat Paul Whelan differently given the nature of the totally illegitimate charges they have levied against Paul. Unfortunately, the choice became to either bring Brittney home or no one. As the president said this morning, he will never stop working to secure Paul's release and return home, and he will not give up. On a personal note, Brittney is more than an athlete, more than an Olympian. She is an important role model and inspiration to millions of Americans, particularly the LGBTQI plus Americans and women of color. She should never have been detained by Russia. And I am deeply proud of the work that the president has done.
Out of all of this, out of all of that, what do they come out with? She's gay. That's what matters here. She's gay. And that's what you should care about because all the kids look up to her. Why? Because she's gay. That's all these people care about. I'm telling you, book deals, movie deals coming. It's going to be Griner, the story of Brittney Griner's resilience against white oppression. It's going to come winter 2023. I'm just going to call it right now. That is what is coming for this dude, Brittney Griner. Let's just be honest, because they are going to hail this individual like a god. Okay? Just like they did George Floyd, this dude, Brittney Griner, is next. Well, speaking of idiots in Hollywood, in case you missed it, woke Jennifer Lawrence is claiming that when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work. We were told girls and boys can both identify with a male lead, but boys cannot identify with a female lead.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just makes me so happy every single time I see a movie come out that just blows through every single one of those beliefs and proves that it is just a lie to keep certain people out of the movies, to keep certain people in the same positions that they've always been in. And it's just amazing.
Dude, it's the woke white syndrome. You know what's funny about this is she's talking to the actress of the Woman King movie with all, the whole black female cast. Oh, they're champions because it's a movie about black people selling other black people into slavery. Oh, wow, let's praise it. Yay, it's amazing, right? It's like, yeah, slavery is good and we should make movies about it when it's all black people. Yeah, because that's how the woke tards function. But it's interesting because Jennifer Lawrence, she's totally irrelevant. She's a loser at this point. Nobody cares what she says or thinks. But she's got to insert herself with the woke white mentality. Oh, well, you guys are having your moment in history and I had mine, and has to totally lie. And just so you know, I was the first female lead in a action movie that's never happened in human history. What are you talking about? I guess Aliens never took place with the great Ripley, one of my favorite movies. Terminator 2 never took place with Sarah Connor. The list goes on. Kill Bill, Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie, the Resident Evil. The list goes on with female leads that people loved in movies. But it's not only a virtue signal coming from Jennifer. It's just the woke white mentality because they got to put their supremacy in there, right? They always do, and I think it's hilarious because these people are they're woke-tarded. There's literally no other word for this. Well, speaking of the woke-tards in Hollywood, you got Whoopi Goldberg comparing President Biden's work to Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look.
So did the economy matter or not?
It did matter, and we would have found out about what you just said, and he could have gone to the border just to shut them up.
Well, Senator Mark Kelly, the new Democratic senator from Arizona, or was reelected, he said there are a lot of Democrats who don't understand our southern border, but then a lot of Republicans who just want to talk about it. And I think, to your point, I think it would have been good for Biden to go, or at least not dismiss it.
Photo ops are very valuable, right?
Well, and it shows that you're engaged in it.
I just think it's such theater.
It is, but
I
play
don't
the
need
game.
to see him at the border.
But you know,
I need him to just work
could
on
have
these
gone,
bills.
but you know, he can't walk on all the water all the time.
Well, and the reporters, they screamed questions at him, and the point was all we heard was about this. Now he's standing there and he's finishing it, and they're like, oh, but what about world hunger? Like, they're like, they just want to get another thing, and like, that's why he's snipped. That's the point
I would like to get my car.
All right. Doesn't Whoopi just always look like she smells all the time whenever you see her on like a clip or The View? It's like, does she even shower? Does she even brush her teeth? It looks disgusting. Are there like little insects in her dreads? I don't know. Anyways, that's besides the point. But I mean, Jesus? They're comparing President Biden to Jesus walking on water? It's like peak woke-tard stupidity. But we know that's where Hollywood's IQ and mentality literally is. It's all propaganda and it's stupid. And speaking of the stupid, Disney will remain stupid and woke. I told you guys not to trust Bob Iger. Okay, there are a bunch of conservatives and right-wingers saying, you go woke, you go broke, and that's why they got rid of Chapek, and they're bringing Iger in, and everything's gonna... No, it's not. Okay, Bob Iger is the reason why Disney is where it is right now with all of the woke stuff, targeting the innocence of children. He opened up that door for this to take place. Well, here he is. Bob Iger speaks out about gun control responsibility on Sandy Hook anniversary. Former President Barack Obama, Disney CEO Bob Iger, and Matthew McConaughey joined together in New York to condemn and propose solutions to the issue of gun violence on the 10th anniversary of the school shooting in Sandy Hook, which was a tragedy, obviously. And here's what Bob Iger said. Those of us who are in positions to affect change, whether it's by influencing laws, of shaping culture, or supporting organizations on the front lines, interesting word, I think we have an extra responsibility, the Disney CEO said, at a New York event that honored his support for gun reform. Bob Iger making these comments that we should be using our platforms because we have the highest responsibility to speak out against gun violence and speak out against gun control. I mean, that's what these people say. That's what these people do. That's what they all say because they know they just blame it on the guns. They always blame it on the guns. Here's what he said as well. As a grandfather, as a father, as CEO of the Walt Disney Company, I believe there is no greater or more important task than ensuring the safety and well-being of our children. Speaking in the context of gun control. Oh, we care about the kids. We care about the kids so much, just not their innocence. It's all politics. It's political smoke and mirrors. That's what it is. But we got to get rid of all the guns. We got to blame all the gun owners. It's their fault. We need gun control. Hey, but what if we just have armed guards at our schools because that might send a message to a mass shooter that if you come try something like that, you're going to F around and find out quick, right? No, we can't do that. We're America. We can't have that at our schools. Oh my gosh, that's so horrible. Right? But all the homosexuals and Antifa and the queers and the trans, they could show up in front of a all ages kid-friendly drag show armed up to the teeth though, right? Oh, they love their guns when they're hiding drag queens stripping and shaking their genitals in front of kids behind closed doors. Oh, they have their guns out in the open with Antifa strapped up. Oh, they can have their guns at that point to protect the kids. Give me a break. Give me a break. These people are ridiculous. They're weak. They're pathetic. They're hypocrites. And speaking about the weak homosexual hypocrites, dude, I got something to show you. I want to give you guys a graphic content warning before we get into this story. This amazing story from Project Veritas. Breaking news, elite Chicago private school's dean of students brags about bringing an LGBTQ plus health center to teach queer sex, these are quotes, to minors, okay? That's a really cool part of my job, he said. Passing around dildos and butt plugs. Using lube versus using spit, as he talked about how the kids were asking about sex and how to use sex toys. Project Veritas released a series of new videos exposing this high-ranking Chicago private school official. Joseph Bruno. Butt plug Bruno going after the innocence of your children. Here's the first video, first clip. Groomer Dean claims the kids as young as 14 ask how to use butt plugs and claims he's got the freedom and financial freedom to do so.
Meet Joe Bruno, Dean of Students at the prestigious Francis W. Parker Private School in Chicago, which happens to charge $40,000 per student.
They're just like passing around dildos, butt plugs. The kids are just playing with them. They're like, how does this butt plug work? How do we do, like, how does this work? That's a really, like, cool part of my job.
Parents might be stunned to learn that Bruno's version of love and acceptance means handing out sex toys to underage students.
So I've been the dean for 4 years. During Pride, we do a Pride Week every year, and I had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students, talking about queer sex, using lube versus using spit.
Who is this?
This is an LGBTQ plus health center came in to talk to my high school students. Nice. They're just like passing around dildos, butt plugs. The kids are just playing with them. They're looking at them.
In the school?
In a classroom.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and we had a drag queen come in, pass out cookies and brownies and do photos.
That's so amazing. And everybody's cool with that, like the butt plugs and the dildos. Nobody complains.
No.
I mean, if the parents found out, would they?
No. It's queer sex. This is the drag queen that came in.
What's her name?
Alexis Bevels.
Alexis Bevels.
And just hung out in my classroom.
And was there?
Or hung out in my office.
You have so much freedom. So much wiggle room.
So much freedom. So much money.
I mean,
to do stuff.
Trustees are okay with that too? They don't know.
They would. It's like I wouldn't even like run it by them. Like, why would I run it by them? They would be like, "Oh my God, that's wonderful."
Like, how old were the kids with the classroom?
14, 18. They're like, "How does this butt plug work? How do we do like? How does this work?"
Right.
So yeah, that's a really like cool part of my job is I don't have to worry about stuff like that.
I'm butt plug Bruno, and I'm gonna take my kids. Notice how he says my kids. I'm gonna take my kids, and I'm gonna teach my kids how to use butt plugs. I'm gonna teach my kids how to play with dildos. Why? Because it's queer sex. But won't the parents have a problem with it? No. They won't have a problem with it because it's queer sex, and we're teaching your children how to have queer sex because it's liberal, it's progressive, and it's homosexual, and you better get with it, mom, dad. So we're going to teach your children how to use butt plugs because I'm butt plug Bruno. Dude, these people are disgusting, dude. Like, literally disgusting. Well, thank God that Project Veritas is exposing this guy. James O'Keefe even confronted him. And it's like this guy literally saw the Reaper, dude. Take a look.
Joe Bruno.
Yes.
Hi there. James O'Keefe with Project Veritas.
Hell no, to the no, no, no.
You're on camera here talking about giving anal sex toys and butt plugs to little children.
They're just like passing around dildos, butt plugs. The kids are just playing with them.
Sir, why are you running? Why are you running away?
Why are you running?
Sir, anal butt plugs and toys?
Excuse me?
Bruno, just, excuse me, this guy, this teacher is talking about giving sex toys to your children.
This is the space where we're dismissing children.
Right.
Can you actually evacuate the patio?
Right,
please?
but he was giving sex toys to the children.
I have children here.
I understand. We got a groomer here. I understand. It's freaking Karens, dude. I have like no idea what's going on. It's like, I understand. Can you get out of here, please? We're exposing a groomer here. I understand, but can you get out of here? It's like that guy saw the Reaper. He sees James O'Keefe's like, woo! He's out of there, dude. Groomer knows what's up. These pedophiles know what's up. That guy should be arrested, right? Law enforcement needs to find butt plug Bruno and arrest that guy for grooming kids. Who knows if he's touched kids? He's completely open about teaching kids about queer sex. It's queer sex. It's all fine. Here, little kid. Here's a dildo, little kid. Oh, you don't know what a butt plug is, little kid? You see this butt plug? Let me teach you how to use it. Oh my God, it's just so liberal and amazing. These people are disgusting, dude. That guy should be arrested immediately. Guarantee you that guy's a pedophile, dude. Guarantee you that guy's a pedophile. I got one more for you guys, okay? Gender expert claims without evidence that more kids will be a suicide stat if not allowed to transition, and openly admits that kids that go through this process are not going to be not going to be able to have kids. Take a look.
This is Suzanne. The reason I asked that question is sometimes I worry that, the children are so young, they don't understand sex yet. So they may not really understand the implications on their sexuality, and not their sexuality, but their sexual function and pleasure. And so I guess I'm wondering, is there any information about people who have transitioned and their enjoyment of sex?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I hear you. And, again, I can't really give you any accurate data out there. But I think about the kids who I know who have transitioned and who have thought about the infertility piece as kind of a related piece, and having talked to lots of kids about that infertility piece, because adults may often think a child is too young to be able to decide, I want to do these medicines and I understand I will be infertile. For these kids on that topic, though, the alternative is not going to let them live. For these kids for many of these kids who really need these medications, it's go on these medications or they end up in that suicide stat. So I guess that's kind of the comparison I have for you. So I'm guessing that it would be the same when we are talking about sexual function as well.
Absolutely unreal, you guys. We have, listen, America, we have a serious problem here. Okay? A serious problem. Okay, BRITTNey GRINER, that dude, that's a problem for sure, right? That's a huge problem. America last. We all know that. We all know that that's been going on. That's going to continue to go on. We got to push back. But you got butt plug Bruno, dude, literally going after your children with dildos and butt plugs as if it's normal, totally normal. If you got a problem with it, you're a bigot. That's what they're going to say. If you got a problem with this gay guy going after your kids with butt plugs and dildos, you're homophobic and a bigot. No, screw you, dude. Screw every single one of you that sit there and accuse everyone of calling people like that out for being groomers and pedophiles. Call us whatever the hell you want. I don't care. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you accuse. I don't care what you slander. You could say whatever the hell you want, because I know that I'm right, we're right, because we're defending the innocence of children, and people like butt plug Bruno should be arrested right now and immediately. And these people that are all over the news, all these so-called educators and medical healthcare professionals advocating to mutilate the genitals of children and openly admitting that they will be infertile for the rest of their lives. They hate humanity. They hate children. They hate God. They hate every single one of you. And all of these people need to repent immediately. They need to repent immediately. Turn to Christ, turn to Jesus, or receive the judgment and the due penalty air that is coming to every single one of you. And it's going to be harsh. My name is Drew Hernandez. These are the front lines. I'll see you guys on the next one.
We must play offense. Game on.
You expect the rest of the world to live in La La Land. We're not.
We've been saying these things from day one.
Our solemn vow to you, be good, be brief, be gone.
You might find yourself changing your opinion on things you've never even thought twice about. That really sets America apart.
You are not ready for season 2. This is Reloaded.
My life, tale, and my truth has been to fight socialism.
Are you familiar with structural racism?
Yeah, it's a myth.